Hi, I'm just going to do a quick video to help out Shofio in the CCG Toolkit forums. Shofio was saying he was having difficulty updating the card layout in the view card, in the 3D card. So the view card is the 2D version of the card. So I've got the view card open here, and the frame is edited here, and you can see here on the brush you can set the image. Now, to create this frame, you need to make sure that this central picture area of your frame is transparent. So in Photoshop it looks like this. So you have a transparent cutout here so the card image can show through the frame. You can use a variety of formats. I just chose to use a transparent PNG and exported that and imported that into the Unreal Engine. So in order to do that, I basically went into the content browser, and you go into the CCG Toolkit and into textures under the card game card sets, and in the basic set. I'm just working in the basic set. I didn't create a new I'm just modifying it, so I'm just learning the engine and learning the CCG Toolkit. So what I did was I actually took one of the original ones. So let's take the yellow one here and right click, and I just duplicated it, or Control W. So I duplicated it. I'm just going to call this test new frame. And I double click that, opens it up, and you can see the original card game frame there. You can't change, I don't know if you can, but it doesn't look like you can change it from within this here. So, but you can change it from within the content browser. So I'm back at my test frame, right click, and re-import with a new file. So I'm going to import same image is there, and you notice there that the image has changed. And double click it. You can compress the image. It'll say it should compress on save either way, and then save the image. So now that you have the 2D texture, you need to apply it to the 3D frame. Okay, so that's where you go into the materials. So 3D frames are models or meshes, and you apply the 2D texture to it. So again, what I did there was there's two different types of material instances. So one is the 3D frame. Actually, wait, no, that's because I changed it. Never mind, ignore that. But so again, what I did here was I just grabbed. If you have a different model, then so if your 3D card is going to look different than this, you would create a different 3D texture for it. So I didn't want to change the 3D model or anything, so I can reuse that texture. But you can change. I changed it slightly. If you take a look on mine in the content browser, my new one, all I did was black out that white area. I need to do some more design, but for the purpose of my game, I didn't need to put the text wasn't going to show there or anything, so I just sort of blocked it out so I could put some more effects over it. So like when there's a poison effect or something, I have a dark background to put the effect over. So I did create a second frame, a second texture to import. but it's the same thing. For this example, I'll use the same yellow one. So what I did was I went into an existing material instance for the card frame and duplicated it. I'll just call this test card. And it's good to label these, you know, material, you know, instance. Okay. So now that you have your 3D frame, and it shows it as a wrapped, you know, around a sphere. You know, it looks nothing like the card itself, but yeah, that's your material. So that material gets applied to the mesh. Pretty sure that's it. But yeah, you change it by selecting it here. So what you do is you want to find your new test card new frame texture, the texture that you imported, and apply that. So you notice I've changed it, it's gone white here. You know, if I just specify a different one, say frame, just type in frame. There's the test frame, you know, there's the purple one with the black background, and that's, and from there, I'll just go back to the test one, just yellow, okay, and then you want to save it. So now I have a test card material instance, and when you're actually creating a card, let me just go in the content browser really quick. Let's bring up my basic set. I'm just going to create a new test card. Test card. Test card. Set your settings for it. So the frame texture, this is the 2D texture. So you can see there it's a texture. Apply that. And then you set your background image. We're going to use 80 Surfer Dude. And you set your background texture, or your image textures is the 80s, and their background texture is whatever background texture you've created for your card backing. And to do, and you know, it's the same if you want to edit your card backing and 3D model there, you know, update the texture there. You have your frame material. Now this is where you use your material instance. So let's find our test card material instance. Looks the same, you know, same there. Sometimes people were seeing this differently. I mean, it's changed for some reason to this type of view. May not look exactly the same on yours. And you have your image, which again, you need to create a material instance of that texture. You can't just put in a texture. It has to be a material instance of that texture. So for that, again, I just took the default one, you know, applied, you know, I created the texture for the image, and then you create the material instance, which is, you know, yeah, the skin for the model, basically. So when it goes on a 3D model, it can be applied and can react to lighting and all sorts of things like that. So I select the material instance of my art, and then the material instance of my background. And that's pretty much all you need to do to change the visual appearance of the cards. So hopefully this video has helped you out, and anyone else. I'm going to chuck it up on YouTube, and you can have a look at it. And also on my account, I've just put up some pre-alpha gameplay stuff, so you guys can see what I've done with the CCG Toolkit, with a lot of time put into it to modify it and add to the base CCG Toolkit. The base CCG toolkit will give you a very basic game, card game structure. It's a great place to start from, but you will need to study, and you should have knowledge of basic programming and functions and variables and how to construct software, really. There's a lot in the CCG toolkit, and I haven't wrapped my head around all of it yet, especially client server things and passing variables to clients and whatnot. I'm still working on all of that. There's not much in terms of direct support for projects. You need to study, and I've put 400 hours at least into studying and pulling apart, and you need to know how to debug in Unreal as well. But this CCG framework is a good place to start and learn. But yeah, hopefully this helps you get changing how your card looks. And anyone else if needs help, post some. I check in the forum once in a while, probably once or twice a month maybe. But depending, and this will go up on my YouTube channel, so depending on any feedback, head back to the official CCG forum and post, or you can leave a comment. And what I will do is I won't just take care of things on my YouTube. I'll direct people back into the CCG Toolkit forum so we can start collecting more information there. And maybe other people will want to help out. Or if you can post your problems, when you're posting a problem, you need to be as specific as possible and just say, help, this doesn't work. Show your functions that you're using. Show screenshots of what you've done and what doesn't work. And always use your source control, your Git source control, if you can set that up. Because if you change things and it breaks something, you need to be able to go back and undo what you've done. Sometimes, and also if you're going around flipping switches like I did in the beginning, make sure you flip a switch, test it, and if it doesn't work, flip it back or undo it, because it's very easy to modify things here and there, and you don't see any problems, and later on down the road when you're trying to implement something and it doesn't work, it usually leads back to something else that you tried before that didn't work, or you didn't notice if it worked or not. So anyway, just some tips. Hope this video helps, and yeah, see you guys around.